Baik, sebelum kita mulai, kita akan tampilkan dulu ya Bapak Ibu terkait video profil kampus King Abdulaziz University. So before today we are starting, we want to display also about the King Abdulaziz video profile. Thank you.
Named after King Abdulaziz bin Abdulrahman Al Saud, the founder of the modern Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. King has reached parity with top universities internationally, designing and implementing a curriculum and educational model that produces graduates whose skills and knowledge satisfy the 21st century demands of local and global labor markets. And in so doing, the university has placed itself firmly in line with the tenets expressed in the Kingdom's roadmap to the future, Vision 2030. Student comes first has been King Abdulaziz University's slogan and goal since its inception, and the university has excelled in its mission to produce graduates who are highly sought after candidates in all fields of professional endeavor. This can only have been accomplished by the university bringing to fruition its vision and strategic mission for teaching and learning. King Abdulaziz University has meticulously developed its curricula in close cooperation with top international universities and highly respected experts. The Minhaj system, which transforms the latent talents of our youth into tools for assuming leadership roles in the future, has become the prism through which our programs and study plans are reviewed. This practice has resulted in our programs receiving academic accreditation both locally and internationally. All KAU academic programs are integral to the university's goal of harmonizing institutional and program objectives to guarantee the development of our graduates' attributes. The university has also adopted KAU exit exam, which measure learning outcomes and ensure the quality of the educational outputs. Outcomes are also measured by indirect means, such as questionnaires for both employers and graduates, among others. The university has also augmented its educational programs with a range of distance learning and e-learning services. This has greatly contributed to supporting faculties and faculty members in the development, presentation and evaluation of various programs, while empowering learners with the tools to successfully achieve their assigned learning outcomes. The university also provides a set of high-quality tools such as the learning management system Blackboard, the modern electronic examination system Question Mark, and multiple support and communication systems such as the ticket system Kayako and the reporting system AI Chatbot. Faculty members and students were trained on the best practices of using these services, and King Abdulaziz University has been recognized for its successful efforts with multiple local and international accreditations and awards in e-learning. Excellence in e-learning and teaching has been greatly enhanced through improvements in both educational technology and physical facilities, which are now equipped with the latest in educational equipment. The university's embrace of e-learning, already in full swing when the pandemic hit, has led to highly functional and attractive classrooms that greatly enhance the interactive learning environment and stimulate the educational experience, all in line with the latest global approaches to the educational process. King Abdulaziz University conveys to its students the possibilities inherent in studying there through an introductory orientation forum that provides not only an overall image of the university, but its full range of extracurricular activities, from cultural and scientific opportunities to athletic and volunteer programs. The university also participates in national celebrations, forums on a wide range of issues, and competitions for all students. There are also special programs available for our most gifted students. King Abdulaziz University is not limited to enrolling students from the kingdom. International students are also integral to the university, which provides them with a stimulating learning environment as well as extracurricular activities and programs designed to assist them in successfully completing their studies with honors. Our special needs students are also high on our list of priorities, and we have dedicated much time and effort to guaranteeing that these students profit from an educational environment equal, that is the same for all students, and which ensures their smooth and easy integration into the university experience. In addition to the academic experience at King Abdulaziz University, students are also empowered during their time of study through the existence of personal services such as housing assistance, nutritional guidance, transportation assistance, rewards, subsidies, loans, and personal and academic guidance, among others. King Abdulaziz University, where education means quality.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Everyone can hear my voice. Please check.
Yes, we can hear your voice.
Yes, we can hear, sir.
Cannot hear my voice. Thank you. International Webinar Artificial Intelligence Research Global Academic in Saudi Arabia, Saudi Vision 2030. Those are the information for today webinar. The session will be begin shortly. Thank you. Sukron lakum. Well, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please. Our session is about to begin. Please have a nice seat. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to International Webinar Artificial Intelligence Research and Global Academic in Saudi Arabia, Saudi Vision 2030. I'm Ripto Muktiwibowo from Belajar Berbagi ID, your host for today, and my partner Muhammad Ardana, student from Syariah Department King Abdulaziz University. Hello, Mr. Ardana.
Hello.
Can you speak with us today? How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, never better.
Thank you so much. So I also would like to greet and thank you to Bapak Badrus Oleh, PhD, from Indonesian Education and Culture Attaché in Riyadh, Kingdom Saudi Arabia, and also our speaker today, Mr. Wafi Badawi, PhD from Faculty of Computing and Information Technology, King Abdulaziz University, or FCIT, King Abdulaziz University. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me first to read agenda today. The first agenda is the opening session, dua, or prior reader and opening speech from Indonesian Education and Culture, ATACE. And the second is the international webinar session. Okay, thanks for yours, Mr. Ardana, for dua session.
Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallahul azimul halim. La ilaha illallahu rabbul arsyil azim. La ilaha illallahu rabbus samawati wa rabbul ardi wa rabbul arsyil karim. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala nabiyina Muhammad. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inna kunna minadh dhalimin. Rabbi ighfir lana wa liwalidayna warhamhum kama rabbawna shighara. Allahumma ighfir lil mu'minina wal mu'minat wal muslimina wal muslimat al ahya'i minhum wal amwat innaka sami'un qaribun mujibud da'wat wa yaqdi al hajat bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma a'inna ala dzikrika wa syukrika wa husni ibadatik. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaytana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmah innaka antal wahhab. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والسداد اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى Allahumma arina haqqa haqqa warzuqna tiba'ah wa arina al-batila batila warzuqna jitinabah. Allahumma inna na'udzubika min ilmin la yanfa wa min qalbin la yakhsha wa min nafsin la tashba wa min da'watin la yustajabu laha. Allahumma inna na'udzubika min al-hammi wal hazan wal ajzi wal kasal wal jubni wal bukhl wa ghalabati ad-dain wa qahri rijal. Allahumma inna nas'aluka salamatan fid din wa afiyatan fil jasad wa ziyadatan fil ilmi wa barakatan fil rizqi wa taubatan qabla al-maut wa rahmatan 'inda al-maut wa maghfiratan ba'da al-maut. Allahumma hawwin 'alaina fi sakaratil maut wan najata minan nar wal 'afwa 'inda al-hisab. Ya muqallibal qulub tsabbit qalbana 'ala dinik. Ya musarrifal qulub sarrif qulubana 'ala ta'atik. Allahumma inna nas'aluka 'ilman nafi'a wa rizqan thayyiban wa 'amalan mutaqabbala. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla wa anta taj'alul hadza idza syi'ta sahla. Allahumma yassir wa la tu'assir. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul 'alim wa tub 'alaina innaka antat tawwabur rahim. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Masya Allah, thank you, Mr. Ardana, for the dua prayer. So we want to next session. I would like to invite on Bapak Badrul Soleh from Indonesian Education and Culture, ATACE in Riyadh, Kingdom, Saudi Arabia. Thanks for yours, Bapak Badrul. Thank you for joining us today. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Distinguished speaker, Mr. Rafi Badawi, PhD, Assistant Professor at Faculty of Computing and International Information Technology at King Abdulaziz University. Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to deliver an opening speech for the international seminar today entitled Artificial Intelligence, Research Global Academic in Saudi Arabia in the context of Saudi Vision 2030. I really appreciate for the distinguished speaker, Mr. Rafi Badawi, PhD, for participating as a speaker for today's conference, today's seminar. Dr. Badawi is among top lecturer, assistant professor at King Abdulaziz University, the top university in the Arab region, ranked 106 ES World University ranking this year. I also thanks to Mr. Ripto Mukti, founder of Belajar Berbagi ID, PhD student at Faculty of Computing and Information Technology at King Abdulaziz University. Distinguished speaker, dear participants, this seminar has some important points for us. Firstly, it opens our understanding of artificial intelligence, the current trend in computer science, information technology, and digital world. Artificial intelligence contributes to developing Vision 2030 Saudi Arabia in all sectors, such as tourism, education, economic development, and all sectors. Hopefully, this seminar strengthen the opportunity among universities in Indonesia and King Abdulaziz University, especially for cooperation, especially in this sector. This September 2023, inshallah, 15 rectors, deans, and heads of College of Computer Science and Information Technology from Indonesia will visit to develop cooperation with King Abdulaziz University, especially in computer science. The cooperation on teaching, research, education, including exchange of professors and students. This seminar will also contribute in perspective of diplomatic relationship between Indonesia and between the Republic of Indonesia and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, especially for people and people-to-people cooperation. People-to-people partnership is important contribution for developing diplomatic relationship between two countries. In liberal international perspective, artificial intelligence, computer science, and information technology are soft power for Indonesia and Saudi Arabia, and also the Muslim world. Lastly, I congratulate for the host and especially for speaker and participants, and good luck for the seminar today. And hopefully, we are looking forward for other forum developed by students and also lecturers from King Abdulaziz University, and also the result of cooperation between King Abdulaziz University and Indonesian academia. Thank you very much. Good luck. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. From bottom to our heart, we want to thank you so much to our Atase Indonesia Atase Culture, Indonesia Education and Culture Atase in Riyadh, Bapak Badrus Soleh, for opening session. Thank you. For the next session, we want to invite Mr. Wafi Badawi, PhD. Hello, Mr. Wafi Badawi. How are you today?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's really in your time. We want to determine your time and your activity. It's not good, I think, because we know that you have a hectic time and really busy. We know that. We want to really thank you so much for joining us today and share about the Saudi Arabia AI Research Initiative. Thank you so much. So time for yours. Previously, before we starting, I want to give you to participant rules. Please mute your microphone, and if you have question, you can ask in a comment channel, or you can raise hand after the speaker finish the presentation. Thank you so much, Mr. Wafi Badawi. So time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. First of all, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just want to say it's my privilege and honor to speak to you all today. And I'm very happy to be meeting all of you, and especially His Excellency the Attaché from the Embassy of Indonesia in Riyadh. I know we're meeting online, but still the feelings are there, yeah, alhamdulillah. So before I begin, as my good friend Ripta has mentioned, today's topic is about Saudi Arabia's AI research initiative. But also we'll be talking about studying in Saudi Arabia and in King Abdulaziz University. So my name, as has been mentioned, Wafi Bdawi, PhD. I'm an assistant professor in the Faculty of Computing and IT at King Abdulaziz University in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So just before I begin, I just wanted to give you some background about myself. So I'm what's called a third culture kid. And that just means that I lived and I studied in different countries. One of the countries actually I lived in was Indonesia. I was studying in Jakarta because my dad was working in the Saudi embassy in Jakarta between 1994 and 2000. And I found this is my first, how do I say? This is my first school certificate. It's actually when I was in kindergarten. I studied in the Pakistan Embassy School in Jakarta, and you can see the date of admission was 1994, so a long time ago. But after that year, I moved to the Saudi Embassy School. After Indonesia, I moved to different countries, but I did my master's and PhD in the United Kingdom at Cardiff University, where I did my PhD. It's called Modeling Shared Identity and Reputation Cooperation Systems. Okay, so let's move on. So first, I just want to give you some facts about Saudi Arabia and what is Saudi Arabia known for. So whenever you hear Saudi Arabia, I think this is one of the first things that people think about is that Saudi Arabia is the heart of the Arab and Islamic world. Of course, alhamdulillah, we are very privileged to be able to assist and receive so many pilgrims every year who are performing the Umrah and they're performing the visitation to the Prophet's Mosque. And also we're very lucky and privileged to be able to host the Hajjis every year. And I hope if you haven't done it yet, that you'll be able to do it in your lifetime, inshallah. Another thing that people know about Saudi is that it's in West Asia, but it also connects 3 continents. So 70% of the world is actually within 8 hours reach of Saudi Arabia. So that means if you get on an airplane within 8 hours, inshallah, you'll be able to reach Saudi Arabia. I think from Indonesia, it's a bit more, maybe 9 or 10 hours, but still you get the idea. It's very reachable from everywhere, inshallah. Another thing, Saudi Arabia is really, really famous for its football, especially in Asia. I remember in 2007, Indonesia hosted the World Cup and Saudi Arabia, the Asian Cup, and Saudi Arabia, they reached the final in Jakarta. And also there was a famous match last year, if you remember, in the World Cup between Saudi Arabia and Argentina, and Saudi Arabia won. So I can tell you Saudi's #1 sport is football. Another thing we're really famous for is our coffee. So this is some Saudi coffee. Usually when we give Saudi coffee, we also give Saudi dates with it. So just to give you a feel of the things we're famous for. And of course, we're also famous for having oil. So that's a flavor of Saudi Arabia. Now, also it's really important for me to talk to you about the history of Saudi Arabia. So something that not many people know is that Saudi Arabia was actually founded in the year 1727. But it was very, very different than what it is today. And what it is today is actually founded in 1932 when our first king, Abdulaziz ibn Abdurrahman al Saud, who you can see the picture of here, he unified the kingdom because the kingdom was 13 different regions, and he unified it in 1932. And then the next, there are many, many events that happened between 1932 and 2016. But in 2016, Saudi Arabia announced the Vision 2030 and the National Transformation Program. Okay, so this was announced in 2016. And inshallah, I included here 2030 because inshallah, this is when we will achieve the achievements of the 2020-30 program, sorry. If you just give me 2 minutes, I just have a call, I don't know. I just have to answer the call and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm really sorry, I'll just be back in 2 minutes.
Dear Dr. Wafi, we lost your voice. We cannot hear your voice. Hello? Everyone can hear Dr. Wafi voice.
Mohon maaf, Mr. Ripto is gone for 2 minutes. Yeah, that's right. Beliau ada hajat dalam 2 menit, insya Allah akan kembali lagi bersama kita.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ardana. Oke, Bapak Ibu, before we want our speaker, if you have question, you can drop question here on meeting chat, or you can use feature raise hand tool after the speaker finish for the presentation today. You can use Indonesia or English language. We can translate if you have question. Don't worry. Thank you so much.
Baik Bapak Ibu sekalian, untuk audiens yang memiliki pertanyaan silakan di drop di kolom komentar setelah pemateri berakhir, dan jika ada di sela-sela pemateri maka silakan menekan icon raise hand, angkat tangan, dan menunggu panggilan dari host. Terima kasih.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Sorry about that. I'm just back. Okay, so that was a brief history of Saudi and some facts about Saudi. So now I want to talk to you about the education in Saudi Arabia and how it is. But I'll just give you the recent history and a bit about since 1932. But today, in 2022 or 2023, the population of Saudi Arabia is estimated to be at 33 million. Okay, so we're a lot smaller than Indonesia, of course. But 6 million of the population, they are considered students, which is about 18% of the population. And because of this rise in students, of course, this also includes school students, not just university. We have 29 public universities, as far as I'm aware, and 38 private universities. So public universities means they are government universities. And private means that the private sector are the one who has them. And in the year 2030, by the year 2030, I should say, we aim to have at least 5 Saudi universities among the top 200 universities in international rankings. As you heard earlier from His Excellency, the Cultural Attaché, King Abdulaziz University is leading this ranking in Saudi at the moment. And we're really aiming to be among top 100, not just top 200. But inshallah, we're working towards that. In 2022, last year, Saudi Arabia participated in a competition called the International Science and Engineering Fair. This competition is targeting high school students, so usually students between the ages of 12 and 18. And we managed, alhamdulillah, to win 17 awards in this competition, including the Young Scientist Award. And in 2023, just yesterday actually, the competition was concluded, and alhamdulillah, we have managed to increase from 17 to 23 winners. So, and the reason that I'm highlighting these awards is because our Vision 2030, which I'll talk about later some more, is really trying and aiming to raise the bar for Saudi Arabia. So we're happy about our achievements, but we want to achieve more and more things.
Jadi reviewer atau mungkin jadi notulis, monggo jenengan yang membagi piyambak. Saya langsung ini.
Sorry everyone, please mute your microphone. Please continue, Dr. Awafi Badawi. Hello, Doctor.
Thank you so much. I just saw that I was also muted, so thank you for that. Okay, so Saudi Arabia, as I said, thinks of education highly important. In fact, our GDP, the government spending, second highest spending in Saudi Arabia is about education. Okay, and this actually started even before the country was formed as it is today. So in 1927, okay, so a really long time ago, almost 100 years ago, there were no schools in Saudi. There were no formal schools in Saudi Arabia. So what happened was the government at the time, they managed to find 14 students and they sent them to places like Lebanon and Egypt, because Lebanon and Egypt had the best education in the Middle East, and it wasn't really far. So here on the right, you can see in 1928, this is the first kind of batch of scholarship students that have been sent abroad from Saudi Arabia to study in Egypt. They were all studying in Egypt, okay? And almost a decade later, in 1936, our scholarship program started to expand a little, and Saudi sent some students to Europe, okay? And this kept increasing until around 2006, we had 11,000 students abroad. In 2011, we had 71,000 students abroad. And in 2021, it was estimated to be around 50,000 or a bit more than 50,000 students abroad. Of course, 2021 was the just 1 year after COVID, so the numbers slightly decreased. But yeah, so our students usually, the Saudi students, they usually go for scholarships in countries that speak English mainly, like the US, the UK, Canada, and so on. But some of them also go to places in Europe like France and Germany. Some of them even go to Asia like China, Japan, even Malaysia, and so on. But at the same time, Saudi Arabia is really happy to be able to offer scholarships to students from other countries, such as Indonesia. So today I wanted to actually talk to you about that, about opportunities for you to study in Saudi Arabia. Okay. Last year, Saudi Arabia launched a program called Study in Saudi Arabia, which allows us to give an opportunity to all international students, no matter where they're from or anything, to apply at any of the universities that I'll show you in the next slide. Okay, and this allows you to study any major you want, except for medicine. And you can study in different levels. So if you're interested in Arabic studies and getting a diploma in Arabic studies, you can. If you're interested in just getting a bachelor degree, that's available, master's degree, and of course, PhD or doctorate. And the type of scholarship that we offer to international students is that we have 3 different scholarships. The first one is completely free scholarship, a full scholarship. And that means that you don't pay for any tuition fees and you get a monthly allowance. You'll also be getting, as the video said earlier, you'll be getting a full accommodation and so on. And then the next scholarship we have is partial. So you might be getting something like free tuition, but you won't get a free housing and you don't get the monthly allowance. And then there's also payment-based scholarships as well. So to apply for these scholarships and to study, there's one website that you have to go to. It's Saudi. It will look like this: studyinsaudi.MOE, Ministry of Education, government.Saudi Arabia. So this is the website that you can go to apply to study in Saudi Arabia if you're interested. Now, in terms of what language you'll be studying in, it will be English for scientific kind of courses or majors, like computer science, engineering, it will be mainly in English. But if you're looking to do theory-based majors, like Islamic studies and literature studies and so on, the mode of study will be in Arabic. So if you're studying also law, all these things, it will be in Arabic. But if you're looking for things like science majors, it's in English. Okay. And through that website, you can apply to any one of these universities. These are the public universities in Saudi Arabia. And I'll tell you something, it's actually quite competitive because we only really accept about 5% of the students in the university are scholarship students from abroad. But the Islamic University of Medina, it's a really famous university, Islamic University of Medina, which has this nice logo. They have 85% of their students are actually coming abroad because that university is considered the top university when it comes to Islamic studies in the kingdom. Other universities which have scholarship programs that I would also encourage you to look into. The first one is called King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. It's about an hour and a half away from Jeddah. It's a private research university, but every admitted student gets a full scholarship. And the campus is really beautiful. It's on the seaside. So you have really nice things that you can do there if you're interested in it, but it's only for research. So they only accept students at master's level and at a PhD level. Another important university in Saudi is King Fahad University of Petroleum and Minerals, which is on the eastern side of Saudi Arabia, about 2 hours flight from Jeddah. It's considered a non-profit institute, but they also have some different scholarships. And their degrees are usually accredited with different universities and different companies. And their funding comes from the Ministry of Petroleum, okay, as the name suggests. But they don't just study petroleum and minerals, they also do other courses like computer science and everything. And all their programs are in the English language. Okay, so if you had any questions about universities in Saudi or studying in Saudi, you can put them in the, as the guys have said, you can put them in the Q&A and we will answer them later on, inshallah. So I'll just move slightly different topic. So I wanted to talk to you about Saudi Vision 2030. So in 2016, I said earlier, Saudi Arabia announced the Saudi Vision 2030, a new horizon. So the reason that we announced it was because we noticed that we're really heavily dependent on oil. Okay, and we know that in the future, we're not going to be using oil. The world won't be using oil as much as they are today. And at the same time, we wanted to develop and improve our public sector, such as health and hospitals, our education. We want to improve it, the infrastructure, and we want to increase the number of tourists that come to the country. But the main thing, as it says here, is to reduce Saudi Arabia's dependence on oil in the economy, develop public service sectors, transform the company into a global investment powerhouse. So if you've actually come to Saudi 5 years ago and you come today, you'll see that Saudi Arabia is very different than it was 5 years ago because of the Vision 2030, and we're trying to improve services to everyone that comes over. Another thing, which I guess is not written here in the slide, is that the main thing that Saudi Arabia does, as I said earlier in the first slide, we like to host, and we're very privileged and lucky to host the Umrah and Hajjis who come every year. And we're also trying to improve services for them. And we're also trying to increase the number that are allowed to come in the country because it's such a small space. So at the moment it's limited, but inshallah in the future, we'll be able to increase that number to double and triple the current numbers. But Saudi Vision is also really important in terms of education. So as I said earlier, we're aiming to be in the top 200 universities in the world. And we're also trying our best to increase the number of employed people because we have a young population. I guess 50% of the population is under the age of 30. So we're really trying to make the job market bigger and bigger. Okay? And the way we can do this is by allowing people to go into education and allowing people to study new things. At the same time, Saudi Vision, perhaps you heard of these projects, but some of the big projects that Saudi Vision is responsible for is the NEOM Sea project and a city called Al Qudayya. So NEOM is the most famous one and important one in our topic today, because NEOM is a planned city that will be open to the world, hopefully, inshallah, by 2030. NEOM is supposed to be a smart city, which means that it's going to be, as it says here, entirely AI driven. So what that means is that we will be using AI to predict what the people who live there need and what they want. And also AI will be relied on things like transport. So we'll have, trains and all that. Public transport will be through AI. The security will be through AI, personal services through AI, and so on. Okay. And in fact, because of that, when it was first announced, a lot of people imagined that there'll be more robots than humans in NEOM. And we are, aiming to do that. But as you saw, AI is really, really important for us within Vision 2030. And as such, in 2019, the government announced the creation or the establishment of SDAIA, or the Saudi Data and AI Authority. And under that authority, we have something called the National Information Center, and we also have the National Center for Artificial Intelligence. All these centers, they were developed to support Saudi Vision 2030, and specifically NCAI was there to support the role of artificial intelligence within the vision. As I said earlier, Saudi Arabia really sees artificial intelligence as something great and something big that will help us achieve our goals to improve our economy, to improve our services and infrastructure and so on. And because of that, a lot of our GDP is going towards AI. Specifically, we're aiming to contribute, and we're hoping, because of all these investments, that AI will also bring money into the country. And they're estimating that AI will contribute $135 billion to the economy of Saudi Arabia. Right. So this SDAIA and NCAI, they're really, really important to us. And as I said, they were established in 2019. So I just want to give you some of the things that they have managed to do since then. So of course, you all remember in 2020, the world went through COVID, and a lot of countries, they released their own phone applications, which helped us to know things like the number of people who have COVID in the country. They also helped us to know about if we have been infected. They also helped us to know about things like if we can get the vaccine and so on. So SDAIA helped the country by producing this app called Tawakkalna. And it started out as the COVID-19 app in Saudi Arabia. But today, almost 3 years after COVID, the app moved to something called Tawakkalna Services. And it's actually, the #1 government app. So within this app, you get access to a lot of government information and services. So it moved from COVID-19 specific to general government services app. And one of the things that Saudi Arabia sees as really important is becoming an e-government. So all our government services are done electronically, and we don't have to go and visit, any ministries or any departments in the government to get things like, for example, our passports. We can apply for the passport online, and within 3 minutes, we'll get confirmation that it's done. And you don't even have to go to the government to collect it, because they send it through the post within, of 1 week. So that's just an example of the government services we have. Another application that SDAIA has developed is called Ihsan. So this is a philanthropy application, which means if you download this app or you go to the website service, you can donate to those who are in need. So they usually, whenever the government has any donation projects or philanthropy projects, they put it on this application, and people go and if they want to donate, they can do that, so that our donations are monitored through the government. Okay, so that we make sure that it goes to the right people. Another application they developed is called Nusuk. So if you come to Saudi Arabia today and you would like to perform Umrah, or you want to go and visit the Prophet's Mosque, usually because we're dealing with millions and millions of visitors, it can get really busy. And so what the government decided to do is to develop this app, and you can go and book a specific time or a specific day to perform your Umrah and Prophet Mosque. In this way, we can ensure that everyone is safe and everyone is able to perform Umrah comfortably and not at a really busy time. So during Ramadan, for example, people who live in Saudi were only able to perform Umrah once. In the past, before the app, people used to go, more than once during Ramadan, and this caused a lot of traffic, and it caused a lot of people to go at the same time, which sometimes meant that the police had to send people away because the Haram, mashallah, was really full. Another app, actually, this was only launched last week. It's called Allam. So if you heard of ChatGPT, this is Saudi Arabia's answer to ChatGPT. It's called Allam. So it's an AI model in Arabic at the moment, but I think they're also going to release one in English and other languages. And it helps people generate AI text and so on, similar to ChatGPT if you used it. Sorry. Another application that Sadaya uses for the government, or that they developed, it's called Istishraf. And this enables decision makers to analyze big data. So what that means is that the government and the citizens are producing a lot of data. And the government is trying to provide services and products for the citizens. So what they do is Istishraf allows Sadaya to process and read and clean this data and present it in a way which allows decision makers to take good decisions when it comes to services. So for example, they analyze the traffic in the city, and then they tell the government, okay, on this route or on this street, we really need some public transport, or we need to change the way the traffic flows so that we don't get traffic jams. Another thing, because the country is growing in population size and so on, Sadaya has managed to develop cloud-based services called Deep, which is similar to what Google offers. But because Google hosts the data in a different country, we don't like that. We want to host our own data, because the data of a country is really something sensitive and it needs to be secure, and it shouldn't be really shared with anyone easily. So Sadaya has managed to develop an email service like Gmail, file sharing services like Google Drive, and so on. This is still something they're working on. They haven't yet released it, but we're hoping, in fact, as a university, to move on to this service in the next few years, so that our information is not hosted abroad. Another app that they developed is called Furijet. So Furijet is an app which exists to enable citizens to help those who are in need and are detained in prisons. So for example, if for low crimes, okay, so some people, unfortunately, they take out some loans from the bank or something like that, and they're not able to pay the fees or the fines. So this app allows other people to contribute and help them out because they're in need. And finally, not finally, actually, there are many, many other applications, but these are just the ones that I wanted to talk about. But they also have an app called Rogue, which is similar to what we're using today, Zoom. And this also enables us to keep our data communication in Saudi Arabia and not share it with private companies, because we don't know what these private companies are doing with our data. So it's really important for us to develop our own tools that we can use within the kingdom. Okay, so this is just a flavor about Sadaya. Now, if we go back to education and how artificial intelligence is being taught in Saudi education, I know that AI actually, since the last 3 or 4 years, has been introduced into schools. So there's now a course that you take in schools that teaches you a little bit about AI and about the dangers and the benefits of using AI. Within King Abdulaziz University, so our foundation year students, these are the first people who enter the university at the age of 17 or 18 or 19. They also have a programming course if they're going into scientific degree, and they also study AI courses. Okay, so they get a flavor of what AI is in schools, and students also get a flavor when they enter the university about what AI is. Additionally, not at King Abdulaziz University, but there are other universities which are offering bachelor degrees in AI. Okay, in the past, they used to be computer science with a track or a minor in AI, but now they offer a full degree in artificial intelligence. Similarly, in King Abdulaziz University and other universities, you can also take AI as a master program. And of course, if you want to do research in your PhD about AI, you also get support. But this is informal education. Also, the government is supporting various educational initiatives which offer AI courses to all citizens. So the government has different programs which support continuous learning. So this means you don't have to go to university to learn, you don't have to go to school to learn, but you can enter a website online and you can take a simple course and you get a certificate in it. So if you know about Coursera courses, it's similar to that, but it's offered mainly to support people who are interested in changing their jobs or learning new skills. Okay. So what are the benefits of studying AI? For us, it's about getting our market or the people who are joining jobs to be up to date with the latest tools that are available for them. Okay, so perhaps this is a bit older than your time, but before 1999 or before 2000, no one was using the internet when it comes to their work. Okay, only some companies or some people, they were using computers and emails and so on. But after the 2000s, a lot of companies, you know, they have to. It's not something they think about whether or not they should, but they have to learn to use computers. They have to learn to use emails and so on. And today, no job exists without the people who are doing these jobs not knowing how to use email and computers and so on. So we also believe that in the future, we also have to know a bit about AI, a bit about programming for you to be able to be skilled enough to have a job. So this is why we're teaching AI in universities and schools and also through these continuous learning programs so that we better prepare the workforce for the future. But there's always a challenge because AI is changing and it needs a lot of investment, a lot of money, and a lot of training to ensure that it's available for everyone. We're hoping to do something about it as well. When it comes to research, it's still something new actually for us. But since SEDAIA, as I said earlier, they're the body who's responsible for AI in Saudi Arabia, they have developed some various research labs and projects with different universities in the kingdom. But most notably, in 2021, they established a Center of Excellence for AI for Health Sector. In 2022, I told you about this university before, King Fahad University for Petroleum and Minerals. With SEDAIA, they established a joint research center for AI. And in 2023, this year, they're planning to establish a Center of Excellence in Data Science and AI with KAUST, which is King Abdullah University of Science Technology, which I told you is about an hour and a half away from Jeddah. Okay. Additionally, of course, researchers in other Saudi universities are also establishing their own independent AI labs. So this is a lab that I belong to called ASAS lab. Okay, so we're just established actually in the last week. So we're still new, but we're also hoping to do some research in AI, mainly for the Arabic language. So actually, these are all the slides that I have for now. But just to add a bit of information, AI, we see it as the future, and it's actually one of the goals from not just Saudi Arabia, but also in G20, which I know Saudi Arabia and Indonesia are part of. One of their goals is to establish AI research centers and to collaborate on AI research in order to better the lives of everyone around the world. So yeah, so I hope that you've all learned something new. And I'm sorry if I talk too quick, but I hope that it was a bit interesting. And I didn't want to go into too much technical details because I wanted everyone to be able to understand some of the things we're talking about. So if you have any questions or anything, I'll give back the floor to my friend Ripto.
MashaAllah. Thank you so much, Dr. Wafi. By the way, that was a very comprehensive presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, after we know about the comprehensive outlook about the AI research and global academic in Saudi Arabia, Saudi Vision 2030, we want to open a discussion section. So now we have come to question, answer, or discussion session. We are glad to receive so many questions from today. Due to time limitation, we are going to select first 3 questions in the first section. If you have question, you can drop in a comment channel, a chat channel, chatting meeting channel, or question answer tools, or you can use raise a hand. Okay, we want to talk about the first question about the Mr. Wafi Badawi. The first question is from Miss Nur Wahida. Bagaimana riset AI dapat membantu dalam pengajaran? Okay, we want to translate here how AI research can help in teaching and can provide, please provide example of implementation that can be applied in teaching.
Okay, thank you so much for the good question. I mean, very simply, AI really helps us in teaching because if we're honest, students, they need different ways to study and to learn. We don't expect students who go to lectures to fully grasp the idea of the lecture. The students have to go back home and they have to learn in different ways. So some students, we consider them as visual learners. So they learn by looking at data and pictures and so on. Some students, they just like to read text and they understand. Some they have to touch or they have to do things practically. So we believe that AI will help us better understand the things that we study, because AI will have many different tools that will help us. So for example, in my class, I give my students some quizzes, and because I have a class of more than 100 or 200 students sometimes, AI helps me to grade those students, especially if I give an exam which only has multiple choice questions, things like that. And AI is really helpful there. I don't know, hopefully I answered some of the question.
Okay, thank you. For the next question, we want to invite the participant to use raise hand feature or tools. So everyone who want to ask, okay, I want to choose from the raise hand. Okay, we have 2 questions from. I will invite Mr. Mahmud Isnan. Okay, can you open your mic, Mr. Hello.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay. Firstly, I want to say thank you for Dr. Wafi for your presentations. I think it's really interesting. Actually, I have a lot of questions in my mind, but for now, I will go into 2 questions. Can I ask 2 questions? Hello?
Hello, please go on.
Okay. Firstly, my question is regarding about the language used in Saudi Arabia for studying. If I am not mistaken, that in your presentation that you mentioned about Arabic language and English. For the theory is use Arabic and the practice is used in English. So for me, actually, for the Arabic, I only know the basic knowledge, like for the conversations. So if in that conditions, is it impossible? Is it possible for me to apply studying there if I only know the basic conversation in Arabic? And the next question is about the what is the way to approach the university. You mentioned about the website in your presentation to apply the to the university. For me, I wanna actually study there for the PhD level, and my question is, should I approach the potential professors first before submitting my application to the website, or only focus on the application and submit it? No need to approach any potential professor, or how? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your question. Can I just ask before I answer which degree you're looking to study? I mean, which major?
PhD.
In what subject, I mean?
My previous master is about the focus on artificial intelligence and remote sensing.
Okay, so so basically, what I said in the slides about the language, if I just first answer that question. So if you're studying a science-based major, such as the one you're about to study, you don't need to know Arabic. So the subjects will all be in English. So even when I teach my students, because I'm teaching computer science students, I'm teaching them in English only. I don't teach them in Arabic. The Arabic language courses, they're for the Arabic majors. So that means if you're studying Islamic studies, if you're studying Arabic language, if you're studying law, I think business administration as well. So those courses, they're only taught in Arabic. But the science courses, computer science, engineering, pure science like physics, chemistry, and so on, they're only taught in the English language. Sorry, can you? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so for the second question, you were asking for the PhD level, would you need to contact professors or can you just apply directly? I'm not 100% sure. I would prefer if Mr. Rip to answer this, but as far as my knowledge is, you can just apply directly. But of course, it never hurts to contact the professors. But in Saudi, the PhD program is actually, you have to study for, I believe 2 years before you start your research. So for that reason, you don't have to email the professors right away because, when you come here and you study the courses, you'll get to know them and you can choose your professor, supervisor that way. But I don't know, can you confirm this, Mr. Ripto?
Oh, hello. Thank you, Dr. Wafi. Bapak Ibu, jangan khawatir ya bagi yang belum bisa bahasa Arab. Jadi ada juga pelatihan selama 1 semester yang ditawarkan dari Arabic Language Institute, di mana ini free, bisa diikuti oleh Bapak Ibu. Apabila untuk perkuliahan S2 ataupun S3 biasanya menggunakan bahasa Inggris sebagai bahasa pengantar. So don't worry about the language. So for you want to continue for graduate studies like a master or PhD, we use the English language for the for everyday daily conversation and for in lecture also. So don't worry about it. So we gonna continue to next question. So we want to invite from the raise hand feature. Okay, we want to check from the raise hand. Like okay, for the ladies, we choose the Miss Veronica. Hello.
Yeah, halo.
Okay, Miss Veronica.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the opportunity from Mr. Ripta Mukti. This is my second webinar with Belajar Berbagi ID. And for the Bapak Badrosoleh PhD and Mr. Wafi Badewi PhD, I want to ask about joint research between computing and IT at King Abdulaziz University and another faculty. Have you ever joined research between computing and IT and economy, or like tax and accounting? And how about if my university want to collaborate or make memorandum of understanding between King Abdulaziz University? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Veronica. So I want to highlight your question that the first slide, computing and economic, the first one, and the second one about the university collaborate. That was, sorry, it is true, Miss Veronica?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for these questions. So this is also something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, about collaborative research between different departments in the university, but also between different universities, between KAU and, for example, university or a research center in Indonesia. So what I would ask you to do, I'll put my email, and you can email me with, what you're thinking about, and I can get in touch with you, or I can also direct you to who you can email it. But I'll just show you, if you go to the King Abdulaziz University, we do have some research groups. And okay, I don't know exactly. So yeah, you can see there's a few research groups in the university. But what you can do is, if you contact them, usually they have their email here, the Deanship of Scientific Research, and you can tell them, like, look, I'm interested in doing cooperative research with you or something like that. They're able to answer you and direct you to the right people. But I'll also give you my email, and you can email me with that kind of idea, and I can also direct you. Okay, I'm very happy to help you there. But yes, we're of course, we're very open and happy to do collaborative research, whether it's a research center or with a university. I hope that answers the question. Should we move on to the next question?
Okay, so Bapak Ibu, you can send email to DSR, Deanship of Scientific Research at kau.edu.sa. Sorry, and also you can send message to Mr. Wafi Badawi or Dr. Wafi Badawi. He send the email address to meeting chat. So we're gonna to next session with the Mr. Ardan. Hello. Okay. Okay, now we want to choose the next participant for the question. Okay, Mr. It is okay. Okay. Okay, from the Miss Ernie, the previous Miss Ernie has two questions about the procedure. Previously, he talked Mr. Badawi about the collaboration. So we want to talk about the second question about the how about the AI can detect about the disease, doctor. She has question about the AI, how to detect AI to detect about the disease. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the question. I'm not an expert in that area really about the diseases and healthcare, but I believe that, I mean, one of the things that I have read about this is world research, it's not just Saudi research, is that we are using AI to analyze things like X-rays and blood analysis to detect these kind of diseases. So this is something that the world is working on, but I don't have any specific details to answer that. I'm not an expert in that area, unfortunately. But that's all I can say about it. Sorry.
Bapak Ibu, kita bisa lanjut ke pertanyaan selanjutnya melalui fitur raise hand. So we want to choose the participant from the raise hand tools if you have question. So we want to invite the Mr. Fadika Irza Putra. Halo? Halo? Oke. Halo?
Hello.
Oke. Mr. Fadika?
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So, Assalamualaikum, Dr. I have a question regarding the Saudi education, especially for the scholarship. I also one of the scholarship applicant from Indonesia. I applied for the Master of Computer Science in King Abdulaziz University from 2018. But until now, my application is start at the Minister of Government, Minister of Education. I'm sorry. So my question is, why the system of the scholarship is kind of sus? I mean, like, why there's never ending of waiting, but I heard news that one of the Bangla Saudi scholarship applicant from the 2022 at this moment he got the LOA and also the calling visa. So I mean where there's in a quote like kind of strange for me. I think that's my question. Thank you, Dr. Wadi.
Thank you, Mr. Fadika, for question. Hello?
Yeah, so I'm not really sure what happened with your application, but what I can tell you is that the website that I shared earlier, the Study in Saudi, this is a new program. It was only established last year. So perhaps that's why they were able to answer your colleague or friend quickly. But I would say if you can email them or if you can reapply again, since it's from 2018, it's been a long time. I would say, if you can try to reapply or apply once more through the new website, I believe they'll be able to answer very quickly. And if not, try to contact them and email them. You can also get in touch, I believe, with the Saudi Cultural Attaché offices which are responsible for Indonesia. So I'm not really sure if they're based in Indonesia itself, but you can contact the ones in Australia or Malaysia, and they'll be able to answer you as well, because they're the ones who deal with those applications in the first half. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Mr. Ripto, if not.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Wahid Badawi. So we move to the question and answer channel. Any one question from the Pelita Bangsa University, one of the university from Indonesia. The question is about the main focus education program from the senior university at Saudi Arabia, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. My ask about the focus on education program. Now at senior university and all university at this program focus detail about the artificial intelligence. Maybe in the attitude of management or the design of modern technology. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome, Dr. Wafi.
Yes, sir.
I think the highlight of this question is about the main focus at the university program in Saudi Arabia. Like the university, maybe in King Abdulaziz is the, if you want to highlight like about the science and technology in Jamia Islamic University or Islamic University in Madinah is about the Islamic or Sharia studies. But I'm not.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
So King Abdulaziz University, we don't have one focused program because so a lot of these public universities in Saudi, the first aim for us is to educate or to be a university, a public university for the people living in the cities that they serve in. So King Abdulaziz University is the main university in Jeddah. We also have other universities in Jeddah, but King Abdulaziz University is the oldest and, you know, the prominent one for Jeddah. So in the first focus for us is the students who are graduating high school who want to come and study in King Abdulaziz University. Want to study in university. Okay. So we don't have a specific program which, you know, is our focus, unlike what Mr. Ripta just mentioned. The Islamic University in Medina, you know, of course, they're really famous for their Islamic studies and Arabic studies. That's why we're able to offer scholarships for different programs. So not just computer science, but also engineering and all these. But unfortunately, at the moment, we're unable to open it for medical programs. So I would say we don't have one specific focus, but I can tell you that we're really good in computer science. If you go, for example, on the Shanghai Rankings website, you can see that, you know, our faculty of computing and IT, we're ranked top 50 in the world. And in maths, we're also doing really well. Engineering, we're still trying because we just opened the program as well for females. In the past, we didn't have any female students in engineering. So just to conclude, to answer that question, we don't have a specific focus program in the university. We're just a public institution trying to have all the programs available. Does that answer the question, I hope?
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the question.
Okay, thank you. Okay, for the last session, we want to invite one again. Okay, Mr. Ardana.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For the next question from Abdul Aziz Ali Sulaiman.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, Mr. Wafi Badawi. I have a question. I am a high school in Saudi Arabia in Makkah currently, but not in Madaris Hukumiyah. I am in Sharia school, high school. And if I want to join King Abdulaziz University, but not in Sharia college, can I still join King Abdulaziz IT or any other college other than Sharia, or I have to take another certification from outside then join King Abdulaziz University? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question.
Thank you.
I'm not fully sure about the answer. I believe at the moment that unfortunately, no, you would have to take a course which is related to Sharia. You can't take a computer science course directly. But I'll try to find the correct answer and somehow communicate it to you. So if you also drop me an email with that question, and I'll try to find a solution for you and let you know. But at the moment, I can say that no, it's going to be something related to Sharia. So just to give an explanation to everyone else, in Saudi education system, when you're in high school, you can specialize into a few different tracks. Okay? So I'm not really fully sure about it, but how it is today. But at the time when I was studying, there was a science track and there was a theory-based track. So if you take the science track, you're able to study things in universities such as engineering, computer science, medicine, and so on. And if you took the theory-based track, then you're only going to study things which are theory-based, like business, law, and so on, you won't be able to take IT courses. And then we also have the Sharia track, which means you'll be going into Sharia studies or into Arabic studies. But I know that with Saudi Vision, we're trying to change that slightly by offering some kind of conversion course. I believe this is what Mr. Abdulaziz is asking, but I don't have full information on it, unfortunately. But if you email me, I'll try my best to find an answer for you.
يسعد أيامك شيخنا.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
الله يسعدك شيخنا. يعطيك العافية.
آمين. جزاكم الله خيرا. You as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abdul Aziz. Don't worry, Bapak Ibu, bagi yang nanti ingin bertanya lebih detail ataupun ingin kolaborasi bisa email ya di DSR atau di tadi kami sudah drop alamat email juga. So apparently we still have enormous question or topic to be discussed as we see them. However, due to limited time, we need to end our discussion section today.
Okay, can I just answer the question in the chat because I like this question.
Okay.
So it's asking what is the minimum example for the English score exam? Different universities have different scores, and if you go onto the program's webpage or website, you'll be able to see it. But I can tell you, for example, our master course, this is inside information, okay? So we first look at your grades for the in your transcript, and then finally we look at the English one just to see, for example, if our program only allows us to have 100 students and 101 students apply, then we do something called mufadala, which means we rank the applications, and the ranking is done through the English, okay? Because we understand and we know that not everyone has full proficiency in English. So we do have also some English courses that students can take while they're at the university. Also, at the same time, I want to say that KU and other Saudi universities, they also offer Arabic for non-speaker programs, which you can take alongside your studies if you're interested in learning Arabic. So just to answer that question. And it also says, are we to have a project proposal before we do our admission? I believe not, but I can check and let you know. Sorry, I'll give back the floor to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Wafi. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally come to end the part of this section in the international webinar AI, Research and Global Academy in Saudi. Before I close this session, I would like to invite our speaker to give us some short closing remark or closing statement. Please, Dr. Wafi Badawi.
Okay, I just want to say thank you everyone for attending and for listening and for all your nice questions. I hope I answered the questions that you have, and I'm very happy to see that a lot of you are interested in studying in Saudi. I would say if you have any more questions, please email me. I'm happy to answer them at any time. And if I don't know the answer, I'll try to find someone who does. You also have access to many different resources. I'm sure His Excellency, the Cultural Attaché, will also be happy to answer any questions you have about coming to Saudi. But we also have our Saudi Cultural Attaché. I'm not sure we have one in Indonesia, but you can reach out to the ones in Australia or Malaysia, and they'll also be able to help you to answer you on those questions. And in the end, I just want to say, Allahumma na'udhu bika min munkarat al-akhlaq wal-a'mal wal-ahwa. And I hope and wish you all very good success in your future. And thank you so much for inviting me to give this talk. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wafi Badawi. Shukran lakum for joining us today. Thank you for the concise closing remarks. And we also want to thank you to Dr. Badrus Soleh, Bapak Badrus Soleh, PhD from the Indonesian Education and Culture Attaché. And please allow me also to some headlight point from this today international webinar. Like AI has been recognized as a key pillar of Vision 2020 in Saudi Arabia, and also AI is seen as a crucial factor in modernize the economic and building technological capabilities. Thank you so much for all our participants to join this international webinar today. Don't worry, we have a lot of event and we want to continue for this event, don't worry. And also we can still join in the WhatsApp group and keep in touch and see you in the next event. We from the international webinar event organizer say, I'm so sorry if a lot of mistake and wrong from this event. And again, thank you so much to Dr. Wafi Badawi and Bapak Badrus Soleh and also Muhammad Ardana as my partner today for this event. Thank you so much. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mohon maaf Bapak Ibu jika ada salah kata dan hari ini, dan semoga kita bisa kolaborasi di next event. Apabila ada pertanyaan boleh melalui email tadi yang sudah kami share, atau boleh juga melalui email belajarberbagiid@gmail.com. Nanti kita akan bantu untuk forward dan juga kita akan bantu untuk teruskan. Semoga Bapak Ibu bisa sukses di kemudian hari, tetap sehat selalu, dan panjang umur, banyak rezeki. Sampai bertemu di kesempatan selanjutnya. So, thank you so much for join us today this event. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Bapak Wafi, Dr. Wafi, and Bapak Badrus.